Rasul Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Indeed, the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets." Truly, ulema are the inheritors of the prophets in their iman, knowledge, deeds, and their courageous stance. The duty to carry the message of Islam rests on their shoulders more than others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has raised the rank of the ulema and placed huge responsibilities on their shoulders that can either be a means of elevation or humiliation for them on the day of judgment. O ulema, we remind you of your noble duties so that you can absolve yourself before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be from those who fear none but Him. Islam has a tradition of producing great ulemas like Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Ahmad, Imam Malik, who had abundant knowledge and profound understanding of deen, who spoke the truth and remained firm, who challenged the evils of their times. They were the lions of the Ummah from pious predecessors, who were the true inheritors of prophets. Such are the ulema who understand their responsibility to stand up for truth regardless of the consequences. They realize the weight of their responsibility. They know their words count, so they use it to keep the ummah on the haqq. O ulema, where are you? What are your stances on the current issues facing Muslims in India? Several anti-Muslim bills were passed in the last few months. They have passed Citizenship Amendment Bill and made it an act. An RC will follow shortly. Muslims nationwide are protesting in large numbers. Various brutalities are being committed on Muslims. We have witnessed what happened in Jamia Millia Islamia and Aligarh Muslim University. Unspeakable atrocities were unleashed in UP and Northeast Delhi. Our brothers and sisters are being targeted and killed. Their properties are being burnt and destroyed. Our mosques have been vandalized. The state-sanctioned persecution of Indian Muslims has reached a new low. Amongst this entire crisis, one thing most hurtful and damaging to Muslims has been the silence of our ulema. Oh ulema, isn't it time that you speak out in defense of our oppressed brothers and sisters? Muslims need guidance of Islam from ulema to navigate the crisis in order to seek obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dunya and His acceptance in akhirah. Can ulema remain silent when Islam is undermined and Islamic identity is getting lost? Secularism and nationalism has become the new religion. Who will save Muslims from the pit of fire? If the ulema do not call out such wrong concepts, who then will guide the ummah and humanity to what is right? Who will reinforce and present to the ummah the rational intellectual beliefs of Islamic Aqidah that convinces the mind, satisfies the fitrah, and fills the heart with tranquility, from which emanates all the system of life, solutions to all problems? Oh, righteous ulema, when will you speak if not today? Today Muslims, by rightfully feeling targeted, have come out on the streets and have manifested their capacity and iman. Who will lead them if not you? Without righteous leadership, Muslims have become aimless crowd. Many political opportunists want to exploit the Muslim agitation for their own political agenda and ideological motives. In the name of secularism, some Muslims are asked to chant slogans tainted with shirk. Who will save the naive Muslims from falling in shirk? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam likened ulema to the stars when he said, "Truly the ulema on the earth are like the stars in the sky. People are guided through them in the darkness of the land and sea. If they are hidden, the traveler will lose his way." O ulema, it is your responsibility to reveal the dangers of kufr concepts and to inform about the Islamic ideological solutions to human problems. We remind you, it was in your supervision only Reshmi Rumal movement awakened our nation. That Khilafah movement ignited a flame of consciousness in the Ummah. From your voice, the parliaments of the enemies of Islam used to shake. On your call, Ummah is still ready to sacrifice its life. For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, lead the Ummah in the fight against oppression by this oppressive government. Fulfill your responsibility to present to the world that Islam is not to be feared from, but rather it is a solution to political instability, environmental crisis, economic slowdown, social depression, criminal and rape crisis, and spiritual hollowness. We need someone to lead us on the basis of taqwa and khashiyah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Lead us before the Ummah is lost. Lead us before our attachment to Islam is broken. Lead us before being the Ulema becomes meaningless. Lead us with ghira and love for Islam and Sharia. Lead us without hiding the truth in the name of maslahah. Lead us such that our allegiance is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam alone. Lead us by firmly speaking the truth to power and being true inheritors of the prophets. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Do not let fear of people prevent you from speaking the truth when you see it. Speaking the truth and doing what is right will never advance your ajal nor prevent rizq." May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep our feet firm and help the righteous ulema of the ummah.